Make sure to be a member on the channel, link is in the description. Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. So let's thank our members as always. Silami, Astropub, Diaf, and Chala RS, and thank you Aluminium for being the new member on the Fishbet, and thank you all the Fishbet members. Make sure to subscribe and join our Discord, it helps a lot. So today we have 3 small games, not a very long video, just to be a little bit different, and we are going to talk a little bit about the F-8E. The F-8E actually, the French version, which is kinda in an odd position, but it is pretty alright actually. It's pretty good. I thought it would be kind of a complaining video about the BR again, but it's kind of a very good aircraft, to be honest. It has its problems, especially when you don't have certain upgrades, and even when you have them, it becomes kind of a weird thing. But yeah, here we are in Korea trying to get people by surprise and using the MatAWG. Obviously, I think it's the best missile of these aircraft, and yeah, it's one of the best missiles in the game. And as you're going to see, kind of side aspect shot here on the F5, kind of a weird thing, but good luck, good shot, and he didn't even realize that I shot on him. Second kill, the A-10, and then we only have guns. So this is the main problem with this aircraft, is that actually you don't have many missiles, but the guns are pretty alright, but you have to keep in mind, before you get the new guns upgrade, they tend to overheat and, you know, tend to seize a lot and get jammed, so you have to be careful with that. They get jammed like really quickly. So once you get it, the upgrade, it's alright, but until you get it, it's problematic, you know. So you have to be careful with that. And yeah, the spread is kind of complicated sometimes without the upgrade as well, and especially when you don't have the ammo belts, is kind of a problem, you know. Here we are, kind of. I think it only needs one more upgrade, but it's just the G suit. And yeah, the aircraft is pretty alright actually. It can outturn a lot of aircraft if you can manage your energy correctly. To be honest, it is known as the last gunfighter of the US Navy, and it is just a very good gunfighter, to be honest. And the missiles are not its main armament. The guns and the ability to dogfight are, you know. But this version in particular has its problems. Without the RWR and without flares and chaff, you will get shot down a lot by missiles, like a lot. Especially because of the flares and chaff. I mean, there's so many MatAWGs and R60s flying around in this BR, and it is just a matter of, you know, you have to be careful, you know. You really need to learn how to evade missiles without flares or chaff with this. Like, you really need to learn, because it is just kind of problematic, you know. It's really problematic sometimes. But as you see, very good guns once you get the upgrades, and the performance, it's kind of alright in the speed department. You have to think that this aircraft kind of doesn't it doesn't like to go supersonic. It really doesn't like to go supersonic. So you really need to be careful with that sometimes, because you cannot outrun most of the aircraft, and a lot of the aircraft you cannot outrate them in a turn fight. So you ended up having to actually think a lot on what you're doing and just try to use the expertise that you have in BFM, you know, in basic fight maneuvers, you know. Flight maneuvers or fight maneuvers? Let me know in the comments. But you know, it's just a matter of using the most of your expertises against the aircraft. I mean, the missiles help you actually get a lot of kills, you know. It's easy, and the MatAWGs are amazing, so I would advise you guys to actually research it very quickly, the MatAWGs. But it is an aircraft that is kind of forgotten, to be honest, because there's nothing else coming right now after this, you know. So it becomes kind of a limited aircraft, you know, because you can use it to I mean, the thing is, if you have these and a Mirage, I would probably take the Mirage just because it is a better turn fighter than this. But it is a very interesting aircraft, and obviously this video serves to the American ones as well. Even though you don't have the Magics there, you have the RWR and flares, which helps a lot, you know. So yeah, the radar is problematic, you know, but it helps a lot having the radar, especially with the tilt feature now. You can actually find a lot of people, and most of the kills that I get at the start of the match ended up being because of my radar, you know, because I can actually detect somebody and attack them by a position that they cannot see me, or you know, get a surprise attack in general with the magic or even with the cannons. So yeah, it is a very very fun aircraft to fly, and especially because it is, as I said, a gunfighter. So it is kind of a like a kind of supersonic. It can go Mach 1, but not really. It's kind of like a the last of the transonic type of gunfighters that we see. So it is kind of the same thinking idea behind maybe a Cougar or a Saber, even stuff like that, you know, Super Saber and stuff like that, but with a radar, with good missiles, and a more modern type of gameplay, you know. So afterburners and better missiles, as I said, and in general just a more dynamic aircraft. But with that said, it's a robust aircraft. I think it has its problems when you get the new boosters with turning and pulling Gs at the same time, rolling and pulling Gs at the same time. You can make it so that you lose your wing, you know, it can break your wing. And other thing that you have to be careful, this aircraft drinks a lot of fuel, and you have to end up getting a lot of fuel to actually be able to be effective at the long run. If you use the stages of afterburners and stuff like that, normally I use 20 minutes on the normal matches, and on the and on the larger maps that sometimes you get. Yesterday actually I got like, I don't know, like 5 times kind of in a row of the EC maps. So you get a lot of EC maps for some reason in this aircraft sometimes. And the radar there helps a lot when for finding aircraft. And when we play that, I normally use the 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, but normally 30, you know. So, but it drinks a lot of fuel. You have to be careful with that. So as you see here, I normally am using the normal. I mean, for the most of the match, I'm going to use the stages of the afterburner. As you see there, the fuel consumption is way lower than the max fuel. Just to get to the battle, climb a little bit, you know. When I get into a dogfight, I go full afterburner, and then we kind of drain up the fuel tank. So yeah, it's something that you have to be careful. As I said, there are goods and bads. I think the good parts about this aircraft are the turning capabilities and the roll rate, especially. You can do a lot of good maneuvers with it, even though it's kind of limited after you lose the energy, you know, especially against some aircraft. For example, the F5, it's an aircraft that you normally cannot win. But a MiG-21, for example, A5s that you see a lot, you normally can win very easily doing dogfights with them. And yeah, this is probably the best idea behind this aircraft. It's a very very good subsonic aircraft, you know. Another thing that is very good, obviously, as I said, it is the magics. You can use at first 4 A9Bs, which is alright, but in this BR is complete kind of useless sometimes. But I would still use it. I did use it to get this to get these upgrades and stuff. And after that you can use the R530s, which are very good missiles depending on the targets that you are firing at. You get a lot of kills with it, but nothing compared to the magics. The magics are just amazing. It's kind of like guarantee kills with the magics, you know. It's very very good. And yeah, as I said, robust aircraft, turning capability is very very good depending on the aircraft that you are fighting. Very good missiles. The guns after you get the upgrades are very very nice to use. They are very precise and, you know, do a lot of damage. I know that a lot of people don't like the Colt Mark 12s, but I personally enjoy them after you get the upgrades on the gun. And yeah, but the bads are very bad as well. It's not a fast aircraft in max speed, so you cannot outrun not even an F5 normally. So you have to be careful with that. At first, as I said, you have to be careful with the guns, with seizing and stuff like that, and the missiles, and the power. You know, at first, stock grind is very hard with this aircraft, but once you get a lot of things, you will end up getting a lot of kills. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. A very quick video, just talking a little bit about it, and yeah, as you see, you die a lot, but you get a lot of kills. So I see you guys on the next one. Hope you enjoyed.